Just in case you hadn't heard it yet, Happy Father's Day. No, I knew it would take a second, but it's fine. It's fine. Either you have received a Father's Day card by now, or in the past, or you have shopped for a Father's Day card, or you have wandered past the Father's Day card aisle at CVS or wherever. So you know what they look like. So what do they look like? Tell me, there's some kind of image. There's only maybe 8 or 9 things that you would see on the front of a Father's Day card. And I want to know, what are they? What do you mostly see? Barbecue. A barbecue grill, right? Golf. A golf club, golf, yes, right? What else? Children. Oh, yeah, I didn't think about that. Kids, the ones that make you a father? The barbecue grill didn't make you a father? A tie, a necktie, right? Sorry, what else? Hearts. Hearts, absolutely, yeah. What else? Sorry? A blue jay. I haven't seen this one. We need more originality. Tools, beer, what else? What? Cars? Yeah. Okay, so we're honing in. I haven't heard the main one that was in my head yet, which is okay, but anything missing? Thank you. Jerry must have snuck in and read my notes. A lawnmower. Or lawn, right? And the one I got from my dad, actually, he hasn't seen it yet, so don't tell him. But yeah, it's a lawn, and it's Happy Father's Day spelled out with the lawnmower in the lawn, right? So, and this resonates with me more now than it has for a while, because I've been a dad now for 8 years, but I haven't had a lawn for 6 years until very recently. So with the house that we just bought, it actually brings a lot of this dad stuff back. I haven't had a grill in all that time, and now we have a cheap little charcoal grill. Tools. I've had tools, haven't had much use to use them, and use them a lot recently, and borrowed some tools from neighbors and all of that. So I'm kind of back into that a little on the nose, cliche fatherhood scene again. So we have this lawn now. It's not a very big lawn. It's just big enough to like play catch in, but not big enough that it's worth it to buy your own lawnmower. We just kind of, the neighbor and I'll share, or we'll pay the neighbor kid to do it, or whatever. But and we actually got pretty lucky with this lawn. It was not in terrible shape. It was a little weedy, it was it's lumpy, and it has some big bare patches in it, and so it still needs some work to be nice, but it's fine. It's okay. So, but the first thing I wanted to do with this lawn is I wanted to address these bare patches of dirt. There was a place where there used to be a garage that was just so awful. They tore it down before they even sold the house, and so that's rough. And there's other places that are just big bare patches for no reason. So I get some grass seed from Home Depot or wherever, and I go in and I very lovingly spread the grass seed on the dirt, and I take the hose that I just purchased because I didn't have one, and I go and I spread, I water that seed, and I'm like, all right, now we're in business, and still no grass there, so don't have much of a green thumb. I thought maybe the rain that we were having after that would, get me out of doing any additional watering. Not true. So we're going to keep trying. And I just wanted to preface this whole sermon with the fact that I have failed at growing grass in my yard, and I will keep trying.
Try it in the fall.
What's that?
Try it in the fall.
It's too late, yeah. I'm going to keep trying. I don't know. It might take 10 years. I'm going to do it. Okay. All right. I've got the peanut gallery over here shaming me for my...
No, we're helping you. We're helping you.
Helping. Yes, right. Exactly. What is it with you and Blue Jays this morning? Okay, we'll talk afterwards. But let's see, did I have a point? I think there was a sermon in here somewhere. So my issue is probably not with the seeds. I don't think I got like a bad batch of seeds, right? The seeds are probably fine. The seeds know what to do. They know how to grow. You look around, maybe here a lot of these were planted, but you go a little bit out of the city and you see millions of trees, right? Were those planted by somebody and watered by somebody? No. trees and every kind of plant you could imagine. They all just sort of happened, right? They happened, the seeds came from other plants that fell on the ground or were carried by a bird or whatever, and just zillions of plants on the earth that required no intentionality. It just happened because those seeds just want to grow. And so we look at the gospel from Mark, and Jesus is straightforward with that. Now, maybe in the first century, they didn't have the biology knowledge to understand what was really inside of a seed, and I don't have it either. But they were very successful farmers. They did a lot of growing things and food and every kind of plant, and they knew how to make it work. They didn't really know what made it grow. And if something isn't growing like it should be, I don't think a gardener is going to tell you how to make it grow. A gardener is going to tell you what's stopping it from growing. Seeds naturally want to grow. So if a seed is not growing, it's because something is preventing it. There's not enough water, or it's the wrong season. And Jesus has another parable, the parable of the sower, where, the farmer spreads all the seed over, kind of indiscriminately. And some of it doesn't grow because it falls on the road. And some of it doesn't grow because there's a bunch of thorns there. Or just the ground something is preventing it. It's not bad seed. It's bad conditions. And this is how I think about St. Michael's a lot, actually, because this conversation does come up. I mean, it's hard not to notice when you look around that St. Michael's is growing, right? And the lazy thing to do would be to give me any kind of credit for this. And some of you do that, and shame on you. Not really. But I have this conversation a lot. We're like, hey, what are you doing here? And like, how can we make more of that happen? And it's like, man, that's St. Michael's is like, they were kind of here, and this guy Ryan shows up, and all of a sudden they're growing. So way to go, Father Ryan. What's your secret? So my secret is, I don't have a secret. I don't even know what's going on. And that's not false humility. That is the farmer not really understanding the inner workings of that seed. And that's me. I came here a little over a year ago, and I liked it here, and I just saw a church that wants to grow. It just felt like it was ready to grow, like God wanted to do something here, and I'm like, let me be a part of it. So I come in like any gardener might come in, and I pull out some rocks and pull some weeds with a lot of help from you guys, frankly. So it's just, maybe I kind of said, hey, let's pull some weeds. Hey, let's remove some rocks. And we start doing it as a team and as a family. And then, amazingly, it starts to grow. And the second we claim to understand exactly why that is, we get inside the heads of visitors or of new members or people who came occasionally before but now come regularly, and we think we know exactly what's going on. We're fooling ourselves. Because the church is a seed, and it wants to grow. And if it's not growing, how am I preventing that? And when they give the priest all the credit, what happens then when it doesn't go well? Then the priest gets all the blame. So it's like, hey, Father Ryan, well done. And then, 2 months later, it's like something goes wrong. Like, Father Ryan, what did you do? How did you mess this up? Well, that's kind of what happened. Maybe that's a part of being a father figure. Whether you are a biological father or an adoptive father or an honorary father, you're a father figure in somebody's life, or whether you have this title because of some vow that you took. Then it's part of being a father figure is that stewardship, being prepared to accept the blame but not the credit. And I promise I'm not going to reprise the stewardship series that we did before. We've been all through that. You guys get it. You know what stewardship is all about. But when we're looking at fatherhood, I think, and you might have read a little bit of this in my newsletter, I think we do a disservice to Father's Day and to Mother's Day, frankly, when we make it all about that family unit, and there's the dad, and he gets to go golfing today, or gets a tie, or something. We ought to be looking at father figures, aka stewards. Who are the people in our lives who have chosen to take responsibility for us? Who have chosen to support us, who've chosen to provide for us? How are we doing that for others? How are we becoming stewards of creation? Stewards of this church family? Stewards of society? And that's such a beautiful thing, because now not only is it immaterial whether you are a male who has children. It doesn't matter who you are, regardless of gender, regardless of your age, regardless of your occupation or your station in life or where you're at. You have the opportunity to step up and take that responsibility with no promise of reward. This isn't like investing in a corporation and thinking, I'm going to take some responsibility and maybe I'll get a big payday from this. This is knowing, recognizing that the sacrifice itself is the thing of value. The sacrifice itself is what makes you a steward. It's what makes you a father figure. Because frankly, that's the only way sometimes that we can find ourselves focused again on where this is coming from. And this is what I preached about last Sunday, if you remember. We get utterly fixated sometimes on the blessings we're receiving or the sufferings that we're going through without remembering the source that's above all of this and underneath all of it. And whether we call that source or God or Lord or Father or Mother, our stewardship is rooted in that awareness. And like I said last week, I hope every one of us, I hope none of us is looking to somebody else to take responsibility for what happens here. I have my job to do. I have a role. I have a job description. But we all have a job to do here. And maybe that job is different than you'd assumed. Maybe that job changes. Maybe it evolves over time. But it's only as we recognize the source and as we listen to one another, as we truly see each other, that we understand what stewardship means for me, for you, for this place. And so once I've opened it up like that and given everybody the opportunity to see who the father figures are in your life, but also the opportunity to be a father figure in your life or in the life of this church, then I feel very comfortable saying to everyone, Happy Father's Day. Amen.